We've spent several days looking at vertex of parabolas and their axis of symmetries, but each time we've only been looking at them from the graph itself. That is, we have some sort of a graph and we're asked to figure out where is the vertex, where is the axis of symmetry, just by looking at the actual graph rather than finding it mathematically. So now we need to learn how to find that vertex from the equation rather than just the graph. That is, we have to find it mathematically. So let's start by reminding ourselves about vertex form. For those of us who don't remember, vertex form is f of x equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And this was the really easy way to find the vertex from the equation, because the values of h and k tell us what our vertex is. That is, the vertex for any of these equations in vertex form is the coordinate form of negative h comma k. So, for example, if we take this equation of f of x equals 3 times x minus 5 squared plus 19, our h value is negative 5 and our k value is positive 19. If we start putting those together, we get a coordinate pair of the negative of negative 5 and 19. If we finish simplifying this, we get a vertex located at 5, 19, that coordinate pair. So vertex form is really easy to find the vertex of a parabola, but unfortunately, we don't always get vertex form, we get standard form. So let's take a look at that. So, finding that vertex from standard form, let's remind ourselves what standard form is. And that is f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So the trick is to find a way to take this format, ax squared plus bx squared plus c, and turn it into our vertex in an xy coordinate. Here's what we do. Our vertex for anything in standard form is going to be equal to the coordinate point at negative b divided by 2a, comma, f of negative b divided by 2a. Now that looks pretty complicated, but it really boils down to some pretty simple things. So let's take a look at how that works with a single example. Here's our example. F of x equals x squared plus 4x plus 1. Let's go ahead and start off by identifying our three important values, a, b, and c. So, our a value is positive 1, our b value is positive 4, and our c value is positive 1. So to find the x-coordinate of our vertex, what we'll go ahead and do is take the negative of b and divide it by 2a. That is, negative b divided by 2a becomes the negative of our b value, which is 4, divided by 2 times our a value, which is 1. As we work this out, we get that negative 4 divided by 2, which equals negative 2. So that value of 2 is our x value for our vertex. So we'll fill that in real quick. Now, the second half is to find f of negative b over 2a. And to do that, what we're going to do is take our original value, negative 2, and plug it back into our original equation. So, if our original equation is x squared plus 4x plus 1, we'll replace that with 2, negative 2. So we plug that in. We get negative 2 squared plus 4 times negative 2 plus 1. As we work this out, negative 2 squared becomes positive 4. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. And you just carry down your positive 1. 4 minus 8 is negative 4. Add 1, and we get negative 4 plus 1, which is negative 3. So our final value is negative 3. So our vertex is the point negative 2, comma, negative 3. And that's as simple as it is. It's all about figuring out the x value and then plugging that x value back into the original equation. Let's do a couple quick examples. Here's example number 1. 4x squared plus 16x minus 2. So the first thing we'll do again is pause and identify our three important values, a, b, and c. So our a value is positive 4, our b value is 16, and our c value is negative 2. You'll notice that I keep finding c even though we don't use it. And that's okay, because in the other applications we're going to use c as we look at these equations. So make sure you're identifying a, b, and c, just get in that habit of finding all three of them at once. So our vertex again is found by the equation negative b divided by 2a, comma, f of negative b divided by 2a. So let's plug those in. Our b value is 16, so the negative of 16 divided by 2 times our a value, which is 4, will give me negative 16 divided by 8, which gives me negative 2. Now we're going to take that negative 2 and plug it back in to our original equation. So 4 times negative 2 squared plus 16 times negative 2 minus 2. Keep solving that out. We get 4 times 4 plus 16 times negative 2 minus 2. 16 minus 32 minus 2. And combine all that, we get negative 16 minus 2, we get negative 18. And there's our second value. So in this case, our vertex becomes the point located at negative 2, negative 18. And that's it. One more example before we finish up. F of x is equal to negative x squared minus 12x minus 3. As always, we'll start by identifying our three important values of a, b, and c. Notice the pattern? So a is negative 1. It's very important to make sure you watch those negatives. B is negative 12, and c is negative 3. Once again, our vertex is found by the equation negative b over 2a, comma, f of negative b over 2a. So, finding our initial value. The negative of our b value, negative 12, divided by our 2 times our a value, negative 1, gives us the fact that it's really important to keep track of these negatives. Okay, so you've got negatives of negatives. So make sure you're watching your negatives. The negative of negative 12 is positive 12. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. So we end up with negative 6 as our value for our x coordinate. Now, we need to take that x coordinate and we're going to move on and put it back into our original equation. So let's work that out. Negative of negative 6 squared minus 12 times negative 6 minus 3 gives us the negative of 36, which is negative 6 times negative 6, minus 12 times negative 6 minus 3, which gives us negative 36 plus, remember negative times a negative is a positive, 72 minus 3. Negative 36 plus 72 combined becomes positive 36, minus 3 from that, and we get a value of 33. So in this case, our final answer is that our vertex is located at the point negative 6, comma, 33. So always keep in mind that the A, B, and C's, you need to keep track of whether they're positive or negative. They're really important to make sure you're keeping track of those positive and negatives.